ये है ना, उसमें तुमने डाला है हु इज द ग्रेटर, ग्रेटर ना क्या,
Smarter.
हाँ, हु इज द स्मार्टर, स्मार्टर अमंग ऑल, और तीन लोगों को तुमने फिगर दिया है, निकोला टेस्ला और अल्बर्ट आइंस्टीन और न्यूटन, ठीक है, दिए हो। ये किस तरह से इन तीनों लोगों को कंपेयर करोगे? बहुत सारे मैं उस पे कमेंट पढ़ा हूँ, तो बहुत लोगों का मैं देखा हूँ कि इस पे उन्होंने एक्चुअल पॉइंट्स को पकड़ा है। मीन्स तीनों डिफरेंट मतलब फील्ड्स है, मतलब वो साइंटिस्ट हैं लेकिन उनका फील्ड अलग है। फिर उसमें तुम इसमें कैसे कंपेयर करने के लिए इस तरह की कम्युनिटी पोस्ट किया है तुमने?
Now Einstein was a physicist, Newton was also a physicist, Tesla was an inventor. Now the thing is that uh, in terms of pure intelligence, they can be compared. It can't be compared whether one was more significant or the other. But I tried to ask whether in terms of pure intelligence, who would be the smartest among the three of them, Newton or Tesla or Einstein? And obviously Newton would be the case in here. Because first of all, his feats, considering in that time he developed all this much of physics and mathematics, most people would argue for Tesla, but Tesla like isn't that smart in terms of pure intelligence as people claim him to be. Or even if he was that smart, so he didn't use his intelligence at the level he should have used. Like people say that he was doing this and he was doing that, but most of the things that he had been doing, or they have no proofs at all, like they say about death rays or whatever. So they have no proofs at all whether such things actually existed or not. So you cannot compare with those kinds of feats. His feats didn't go out of electricity and magnetism, and even in electricity and magnetism, Faraday had like more kind of contribution in that particular field. So Tesla, maybe he would be that smart, but he wasted most of his time and potential in doing unnecessary things. And even Newton did it for a long time. He was doing on dark magic and alchemy and all this thing. Not dark magic, but he was doing on alchemy and all this thing. He was trying to experiment and spent a very long time on that. But now the thing is that Tesla also, kind of wasted lot of his potential and smartness on unnecessary things in the scientific field on its own, like kind of trying to build things like science fiction kind of things. So that is, so if here we compare in terms of pure smartness, Newton would be the one.
जैसे तुम खुद कहते हो, अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि न्यूटन को तुम ग्रेटेस्ट मानते हो सारे जितने भी साइंटिस्ट, अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, मतलब सबका अपना अलग अलग चॉइस होता है।
Yeah,
लेकिन जहाँ
everyone has
वोटिंग की बात है तो सबसे ज्यादा वोटिंग हुई है किस पे मालूम है?
Einstein.
आइंस्टीन पे, ठीक है।
Einstein
तो
basically
और
developed
ऐसा भी
relativity.
नहीं है कि जिन्होंने वोट किया है वो सब लोग बहुत स्मार्ट होंगे या मतलब बहुत ज्यादा फिजिक्स से रिलेटेड, मतलब उनके पास नॉलेज होगा।
Einstein is most
होता
popular.
क्या है ना, जो ज्यादा पॉपुलर होता है ना, जब वोटिंग का जहां तक मैटर होता है, मैं देखा हूँ कि जो ज्यादा फेमस होता है उसको लोग वोट कर जाते हैं।
Hmm.
उससे महान महान लोग पड़े रहते हैं लेकिन मतलब वो हम उतना हाईलाइटेड नहीं है, तो लोग अक्सर वोटिंग के जब मामले में होते हैं तो उनसे थोड़ा सा मतलब वो डिफरेंट हो जाता है। तो हमको तो नहीं लग रहा है कि मतलब ये जो तीन है, मतलब वो सब लोग जो वोट किए हैं आइंस्टीन को, तो इसमें ज्यादातर मेजोरिटी उन लोगों का होगा जो बहुत ठहर के सोचे होंगे। हाँ, हमको ऐसा नहीं लग रहा हो, क्योंकि जो बहुत ठहर के सोचेगा तो जरूरी नहीं कि वो आइंस्टीन को, हो सकता है बहुत लोग ऐसे होंगे जो निकोला टेस्ला को ग्रेट मानते हैं, ठीक है, और एक्चुअल में है भी, ऐसा नहीं है कि इनसे किसी भी फील्ड में हमको तो नहीं लग रहा है वो कम होंगे, जहां तक मैं अंडरस्टैंड
The
कर रहा
thing
हूँ।
is that people also know Tesla was really great inventor, but the thing is people are also overrating Tesla a lot. And and not overrating in I'm saying in this sense that he's any less great or he doesn't deserve all this hype. But people say that he was a lot smarter than Einstein. They use language such as he negs Einstein in smartness. And so this is now the primary reason. First of all, YouTube shorts, plus he has appeared in an anime. So, due to the anime, this is all happening. In fact, that anime is in fact even banned in India. But again, all this appearance in anime and all this thing due to all that. Like there was this, person, really great Japanese author, Dazai Osamu. So before he appeared in an anime, not that directly they are putting that person in anime. So actually, previously he wasn't that much known. He might say, you might say that one of the greatest Japanese authors of all time. But previously he wasn't that much popular worldwide. But there was released this anime called Bungo Stray Dogs, and its manga was written, light novels were written, and then Dazai's popularity suddenly rose. Though he is really a, in the ancient times, not exactly ancient times, but in the 19th and 20th century he was an author. But now he is becoming much and much popular. So similar thing happened with Nikola Tesla. That is why. Plus YouTube shorts, plus there are lots of, fictitious kind of, not exactly fictitious, but you don't have proof that death rays or all these machines, whether they exist or not. So you cannot exactly count them as his feats. So here we are talking about smartness, or whether who has achieved more. So Isaac Newton has clearly achieved most out of all of them.
जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ, मैं ज़्यादा तो नहीं समझता हूँ, लेकिन जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ, ये जो तुम्हारा पोलिंग है या जो कम्युनिटी पोस्ट है, एकदम ये नॉनसेंस क्वेश्चन है। एक दो लोग को मैंने पढ़ा और उन्होंने ये नहीं कहा कि ये नॉनसेंस क्वेश्चन किया गया, लेकिन जो उन्होंने अपना व्यूज दिया है, उससे हम तो यही अंदाजा लगाते हैं कि इस तरह की पोस्ट नहीं होनी चाहिए, इस तरह की कम्युनिटी पोस्ट या इस तरह के क्वेश्चन नहीं आना चाहिए। तो अगर सपोज करो कि अब मैं तुमसे पूछूं ये पॉइंट ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है या शॉर्ट ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्या तुम्हारा आंसर होगा?
Now again, I didn't ask whether they are important or not. I asked who was smarter. So
सेम थिंग्स ना, ये
no,
तो
it was
इम्पोर्टेंस की
asked
बात
from a
है।
neutral
तो
perspective.
उसमें इम्पोर्टेंट की जगह पे स्मार्टर आ गया। अगर सपोज करो द सेम क्वेश्चन वाज आस्क्ड बाय समवन एल्स, देन व्हाट वुड बी योर आंसर? अगर तुमसे यही क्वेश्चन या कम्युनिटी पोस्ट में तुमसे तुमको आंसर वहां पे देना होता तो तुम क्या देते, और तुम्हारा किसी को चूज करने का बेस क्या होता?
Now, if here we are actually comparing them, like there are many, people who compare them point by point, that he has better full scale intelligence or full scale IQ, and he has better this fluid reasoning and all this thing. That thing is purely dumb. But here, if we are talking purely in terms of smartness, that is just a thing to vote. So again, now to actually say that whose contributions were more important, that is nonsense. But here, talking about pure smartness, so it can be, kind of voted.
अच्छा, तुम्हारे हिसाब से कौन
Newton clearly.
न्यूटन?
Anyone who has studied physics will clearly say that Newton has
तो
most feats of
अच्छा,
all of them.
न्यूटन तुम्हारे हिसाब से है। और लेकिन पोलिंग हुई है आइंस्टीन पे, तो क्या तुमको ऐसा लगता है जितने लोग ये पोल कर रहे हैं उनसे तुम्हारे पास ज्यादा नॉलेज है?
E equals mc square is basically the most popular physics equation. But F equals ma is the most important one. It is written in the book For the Law of Physics by Walter Lewin. So basically here, I don't exactly remember, it was in that or a similar book maybe. It was written in such a book by a scientist. So F equals ma is the most important one. Einstein basically became really popular, and his feats are no less great or no less important. But the only persons that I can say that whose feats compare even to Einstein are those of Newton or maybe Maxwell or Galileo. But here, since Newton led the foundation of physics and foundations of classical physics, so Newton's smartness was maybe little over the top. Or maybe I can debate a little over Newton or Einstein. So in some aspects, Einstein may have been smarter. Terms of creativity, so I might say in terms of creativity, maybe Einstein had been smarter. In terms of mathematical, smartness, mathematically manipulating the numbers or all that, Newton would have been smarter. So that might be a case, but here Newton might go a little, higher than Einstein in terms of smartness.
नहीं, नो डाउट, दैट इज मतलब वो बहुत ग्रेट है न्यूटन, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है। हम भी देखते हैं जो भी काफी लर्नेड लोग हैं उनको मतलब ज्यादा प्रियोरिटी मिलती है, उनको प्रिपेयर करते हैं न्यूटन को। बट आइंस्टीन को हमको नहीं लग रहा है किसी भी तरह से कम आंका जा सकता है। ये पब्लिक है, क्योंकि पोलिंग क्या है तो किसी एक को चूज करना ही है। लेकिन निकोला टेस्ला को भी बहुत ग्रेट माना जाता है। हाँ, तो ऐसा क्यों? या तो लोग उनके बारे में जाने नहीं, हाँ, जो भी मतलब कमेंट करते हैं। हम तो बिल्कुल नहीं जानते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी जितना मैं पढ़ता
Now
हूँ इधर
people,
उधर।
as I'm saying, that lots of his actual feats are unknown, that whether what he has done.
अच्छा,
Now he
मतलब मेन
invented
मेन क्या रिसर्च क्या है?
AC, alternating current.
अल्टरनेटिव।
Yeah, he invented the alternating current circuit. Now, as I'm saying, that most of the people consider that those kind of inventions, or the so-called inventions, that haven't been come out into the public domain. So stop counting that. If we look at the actual researches, so again I'm saying that Newton's researches or Einstein's researches show much more of their smartness than that of Tesla. But it doesn't make Tesla any less significant. It's just that people recently have been overhyping Tesla's inventions. These, I don't have any problem with Tesla, but I have a problem when people overhype these so-called inventions that haven't come out into the public domain. Plus, here one factor that reduces Tesla's smartness for me is that Tesla would not believe in relativity. Now everyone have got their personal opinions, but he had always tried to refuse the idea of relativity. In fact, when people claim that when Einstein was asked by a reporter,
वो
or maybe
एक्सेप्ट
an
नहीं करते थे रिलेटिविटी को।
no, maybe an interviewer, whether how he felt like being the smartest person alive. So, and Einstein replied, I guess you would have to ask Tesla about that. So many people make claims over this statement, but it was actually sarcasm instead of an actual statement. Einstein was being sarcastic. He didn't actually, maybe he didn't mean it, but there is a high possibility he was being sarcastic because of the way Tesla would refuse Einstein's theories. So if he didn't believe in relativity, or maybe many other discoveries, and I think maybe Maxwell's equations also. So that definitely says that in terms of pure, maybe he was that great of an inventor and he was able to think this and that. But in terms of pure smartness, he wasn't able to cope up with Einstein's smartness.
एनीवे, मैं अब इस टॉपिक को लाइव रखूंगा। ठीक है, जो तुम्हारा टॉपिक मतलब जो कम्युनिटी पोस्ट पे, और मैं चाहूंगा ना कि पब्लिक डायरेक्टली तुमसे मतलब इससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन करो। हमको तो तुम कुछ भी कह दोगे, हमको तो मानना ही पड़ेगा, बिकॉज आई डोंट नो मच अबाउट देम। लेकिन मैं एक दिन इसको, आर यू रेडी ना, लाइव?
No, I don't want to debate over this. I don't